Welcome everyone to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for March 15th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so big time of the year. We're right in the middle of the solar eclipse from last week and now the lunar eclipse of next week. So we're in the first quarter phase, building that momentum, and it's really about where we can implement this change. You know, last week has been the solar eclipse energy of seeing where we can change our life so we have A, more freedom, and it being more in alignment with our true self, and B, more peace, more presence in the everyday experiences. So that's still very much in effect, and with the first quarter, it's all about implementing it, grounding it, and setting any intentions that might need to be implemented during this time. So let's go and look at this in terms of the sky. We've got the sun still in Pisces, so we are gaining that prana, gaining that energy right now by connecting to the present moment, by connecting to our intuition, perhaps getting that alone time, that internal time, which is so important in this time of the year. So that's where we're gaining prana, we're gaining energy, we're focused, and that's a great way to move forward in that sense. Now, in terms of the moon has been in Taurus. So this is all about finding the middle path with the material life. How can we enjoy the simple pleasures of life in a balanced way? Whether it's our senses, a good meal, relaxation, whether it's nature, whether it's really being grateful for what we have on a material level, I think is great ways to work with the moon here. Now the moon is going to go over the hand of Orion into the evening time going into tomorrow. And Orion really symbolizes that same kind of energy of integration. It's really about living through experience, right? Because Orion is opposite the galactic center. The galactic center in Ophiuchus has to do with our spiritual selves. And Orion is saying we've got a physical counterpart. We've got a physical counterpart to our spiritual selves, and it's all about living it, embodying it, and grounding it here on Earth, specifically through learning through experience. And that's what it symbolizes. So still very much about the first quarter. With Orion, integrating the two is about that action and implementation. Now we do have quite a few aspects here in the sky today. We've got Venus still squaring up to Mars coming off of yesterday. This will be receding a little bit. So this has been that integration of the masculine side of Mars with our receptive side or feminine side with Venus. And so integrating these two, which has been the perhaps assertive way of connecting or tactful way of asserting ourselves. And this has been these two seemingly opposite parts of the chart, yin, yang, masculine, feminine, needing to be balanced, needing to be merged and implemented. So that's going to be easier to implement since yesterday, because that's when it went exact, but certainly something we can continue to work with and put forward here today. Now Mercury still squaring up to Saturn technically, but that's also easing up as well. So this has been perhaps the more grounded and disciplined approach to the everyday experiences. Maybe it's with the routine, maybe it's with the communication, maybe it's with the mind. And so it does make it still an excellent day for anything productive, but bringing that extra attention to how we can have a healthy amount of limitation to those three areas: mind, routine, and communication here today. Now the strongest energy of the day is probably going to be this Jupiter trining up to Pluto, which is a very nice transit, especially with all this major change going on. This is going to go into effect tomorrow and later in the week. So the key with this is that there are opportunities for change. There is motivation for change. And although a lot of this is reflective because Jupiter is retrograde in Leo, it is very internalized. But that internalization, is something we can really learn right now. It's a lot to learn. It's a lot to learn about our passions, our interests, our true self, our inner child, and what we can do to really make change in our lives so that our lives are more in alignment with that true self. So very powerful, could be optimistic. Mercury is going to be opposing up to Jupiter today. So do keep everything nice and grounded and balanced when it comes to these possibilities, but still very nice to have that overarching view, especially with the daily things, especially with our mind and again, those communications. And along with that, because of the position of Mercury here, he is going to be sextiling up to Pluto. So Mercury is in the mix with this trine up to Jupiter and Pluto. So it's all about this implementing. It's all about this daily experience. It's all about living it, embodying it, and putting it into action, putting it into motion. That's what Mercury really symbolizes, being the middleman between the spiritual and the physical, and how those two things can be combined and integrated. Okay, and that's what's seen by Virgo, which is an area that Mercury rules, and Gemini as well. So that's going to be the strongest energy. Definitely good for making the change in our life. Definitely good for implementing it. Definitely good for seeing things in a new light, because Mercury is all about that new perspective. And it might be completely out of the ordinary. It might be completely progressive or innovative in terms of those ideas and notions. Mercury is still technically in Aquarius. And there's a lot of Aquarius energy. We can enjoy the unorthodoxy. We can enjoy being that true self with Venus here as well. Now, Mercury is going to go over the South Node and Chiron later in the week, so a lot is changing. But I think today is excellent to see where we can have change, implement it, and take whatever steps are necessary. All right, so I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.